Hey guys, I'm at my mom's house, which is why you see a different background. I'm here for the weekend and I'm going to go see Toy Story 5 tomorrow, so I'm really excited. But I thought I'd give you guys a bit of a clinic update like I promised you yesterday. So, most of the majority of it was actually good news. There was only like one thing that was not, I wouldn't even say bad news, just meh news. So, this was my first proper clinic since starting Alyftrek. I went in like the week I'd started it because I was having like severe symptoms, but this was the first like just regular clinic since starting Alyftrek. If you hear meowing, there's a cat. If you hear moaning, there's a dog. So the one thing that made me super happy is I have actually gained 6 pounds since April. So when I got COVID back in 2022, I was stuck at like 78, 77 pounds for literal years, okay? Like 2022, 2026, right? I weighed in at 84.1 today, which was just amazing. And it does give me some confidence too. Like when you're that low weight, you get like a stick. So now that I have like a little bit of meat on me, like I like it, and it's just so nice to finally see weight gain. And I can honestly only contribute that to Alyftrek because I was also discussing how this is going to get TMI talk right now. I was discussing how my GI symptoms are basically resolved. I take a medicine for them, but even that medicine at times was not working, and I was having issues with constipation and all this. It's just been resolved. It's just gone since I started Alyftrek. So that's like 2 months of that, right? So we're talking about that. We're talking about how I have more energy. Symptomatically, I feel better. My cough is gone again. I don't get short of breath. I don't get winded. I don't get tired. And so that's better. And I would say blood sugar is better on the whole spectrum. It has been. The last couple days have been kind of interesting, but on the whole spectrum, I'm not having as many lows, or if I am, they're not as severe. So all of that was like good news for the clinic. I was really excited for PFTs because my lungs feel better than they did on Trikafta, or at least they feel like they did when I started Trikafta in 2020. So I was really excited for PFTs. My PFTs are down, which was kind of confusing. It's not like a big drop, which is why I say it's not bad news, but I typically blow a 85 to 84% FEV1, and today I started at 79, ended up at 81, so the average was about 80% for the FEV1, which was kind of confusing. I was like, why do I feel so much better, but my PFTs are dropping? So it, correlation is not equal causation. It doesn't mean that the Alyftrek did it. We'll just see what happens when I have my next clinic in December. So, but all of that was good. It was a long morning because you guys probably don't even know this about me, but I've had a G-tube since I was a baby. And so it was a long morning because I had to get my G-tube changed, and then I had clinic. So long day at the hospital, but we got a lot accomplished. And like I said, on the whole, it was a very good clinic. I'm just so happy to be gaining weight and to have more energy, to feel healthier, even if my PFTs are saying differently. So they weren't concerned about it. They said, it could just be the weather. It could be anything, and we'll just reassess. If it still drops in December, then it might be like a moment. But if it stays stable or, goes back up, then we're fine. So, yeah, on the whole, everything went well, and I'm just glad to be free of of the hospital for a while. And we were also discussing, like, I had a really rough start at the beginning of this year. If you guys remember, I was in the hospital in January. I then had to be on steroids through February, and then I got sick again in March, ended up back in the hospital in April. So I had a really rough start to the year, and that catalyst of going back into the hospital in April is what led me to decide to switch to Alyftrek after some thought. And honestly, I'm so glad I did. I don't see myself ever going back. I had blood work for my liver this past Tuesday, and my liver's happy on it. Everything is just, right now, knock on leather, knock on wood, is coasting on easy streets. So hopefully that continues. And yeah, that's the clinic update and the 2-month Alyftrek update.